David Blaine, do I really have to say anything else drinking a coffee with a 3 milli cinnamon zinni in my mouth? If you have a zin problem, you should send me the reward codes because your boy's trying to get that metal tin and I'm only up to 500 points. Today we're going to be taking a look at David Blaine and one of his original performances where he does a card stab routine. This one always stood out when I was younger because I was not only fooled, but also because of the immense theater he gets from a simple routine. We'll go over all the virginity from the performance as well as little tips and touches as to how you could also get the same sort of effect.
For you, I want you to open the deck. I want you to thoroughly examine it. I want you to shuffle it face up, remove the jokers. Can I have a sharp knife to cut this open, please?
Give me a sharp knife, please.
Like a steak knife? Good. Perfect.
This little tidbit right here actually sets up the remainder of the effect. Believe it or not, later on, when it comes to the actual menu that you're going to see, he drops undercards right before he performs a card stab. A card stab is a classic routine where a deck is laid out on a table. You get a knife, you stab one card, and of course that happens to be the card they picked. But he goes out of his way to make this procedure very fair, and here he also makes this seem way bigger of a trick than it actually is by borrowing things from the restaurant or borrowing things from the environment. In this case, asking somebody for a steak knife. This is a great technique to use whenever you want to make a smaller trick seem way bigger than it actually is.
Oh, you opened it already?
No, not
Okay,
really.
you can just cut it like that.
Okay.
Open up the box, take the jokers out, get rid of them, examine the deck. Good. Get rid of all. Yeah, that's perfect. And shuffle them face up so everybody can see there's
Face
no.
up?
Yeah, face up, shuffle them thoroughly. Good. Great. It's fair?
Ignoring the fact that the average age around him seems to be dead, why are you wearing a gold bracelet with a silver watch? Come on, man, match your medals.
Be better. Be better. Be better. Be better.
What I want you to do is I want you to spread them on the table, just like this. Here, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn my head. I want you to reach in and remove any card that you want from the deck, any single one. Take it out, and then you're gonna show it to them and show it to everybody, and then shuffle it back into the deck. I'll turn my head. Show it to them. Let them see it too. Let everybody see it. Let everybody see it and shuffle it back into the deck thoroughly.
Let me see it.
Yeah, let everybody see it. I didn't see it. Good. And shuffle the deck thoroughly.
Now, I really hate to get into methods. That's not what these videos are about. These videos are making you a better magician through the principles, not necessarily the way that these magicians do the tricks. But we can assume that because of the fairness of this procedure, that there's going to be another method in here that is going to be employed. In this case, because of the fact that David Blaine is in this scenario with a camera guy and what are hopefully going to be some assistance in this process, you would assume that he's going to use that to his effect to try to create the best possible trick for a television audience. And in this case, he's having his participant shuffle this card into the deck without any sort of overt control, which is another lesson in and of itself. Because if you are in an environment like this, where you have a camera and you have potential other people that are on your team, why not take advantage of that and maximize the effect?
Mix it up. So there's no way that I could follow your card. Shuffle it face down.
There's no way.
Perfect. I don't know where your card is.
No idea.
Spread the cards over the surface of the entire table. Mix them all around, everywhere. Everywhere. Good. Big. Bigger, all across the whole table. I don't know which card is yours.
As I've mentioned before, a way to make a small effect seem way bigger is to have more participants involved. If you have a deck shuffled, spread the deck amongst other participants and have them shuffle the deck as well. Also, in this case, as he has all the cards being placed on a table, he has multiple participants do it. Now, what this does is that it takes what is an otherwise small trick and makes it way bigger, at least in appearance.
But just to make it even more difficult, I'm going to cover the cards. Can I have a menu or something? Can I have a menu?
Can we have a menu, please?
Yeah. Good. So just to make this more impossible, we take a menu, one of the menus, pull it out like this. We don't need the plastic, but here's what happens. The menu goes over the table just like that.
I remind you that methods are irrelevant. However, in this particular case, it seems like what's happened is that because of the precedent set by borrowing the knife in the beginning of the trick, he's already set that as a potential thing that he does. So it doesn't seem out of place when he asks somebody for a menu separately off camera, and that menu happens to come in fairly quickly. So what that tells me is that that menu is part of the method. And in this case, I believe that that method is that there's a secret card hidden amongst the actual pages of that menu, which is why he's so fair and open when showing it, and he places it on the table. And this is great because he's taking advantage of the environment. Again, the environment being that you have people there that could potentially help you. So why not? Especially if it helps in the fairness of the procedure, why not use them and take advantage of everything you could possibly do to maximize the effect in the eyes of the audience?
Watch, ready? This knife, ready? Look. Ah!
Funny little tidbit here, you could see David Blaine stabs the absolute shit out of his hand when he passes that knife the second time around. It slides and cuts his pinky. Ugh.
The menu goes over the table just like that. Watch, ready? This knife, ready? Look. Ah! Look. See, there's a card there. See that card? See, there's one card?
Yeah.
Look.
That's it?
What, name your card?
That's it.
I keep saying the word theater like a mentally ill parrot. However, look at the theater that he manages to squeeze out of what is a small close-up trick. Every eye in the room is definitely looking at what he's doing, and it doesn't help that, of course, there are cameras aimed at David Blaine, but it's still a lot for what is essentially very little. I talk about this a lot in the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be, all for the low, low price of a single White Claw a month equivalent, which is $5 a month. And I'm always uploading new videos. So why not check it out? It's how I make most of my living. So why not do that and continue to see videos like this on YouTube? Help a brother out. If you are going to perform a trick like this, I suggest to be very mindful of the environment, and what I mean is not necessarily the knife, which you should be very careful if you're using a knife anyways, because you don't want to get stabbed like David Blaine here. However, I mean be mindful of the fact that you are stabbing a table, so don't necessarily do this in a fine dining establishment, although a Denny's seems to be good enough. I've personally seen enough shenanigans at Denny's where stabbing a table is probably the least of their worries. I really didn't understand what it takes to film something like this until I was there for a couple productions and seeing someone like Peter Turner working behind the scenes for someone like Dynamo, that everything in the environment is taken advantage of, and you do whatever it takes to get to that effect. Especially something like this that's going on for television, you got to keep in mind that the audience is not the people that are around you at the time of filming. The audience is the one that is going to watch that video later on. So you want to make sure that everything is as clear for them as possible at whatever cost in regards to the audience that is going to be performed on in the video itself. But for the regular non-recording virgins, you could still take the principles from this trick and implement it in your own work, such as taking advantage of the environment, borrowing things, asking for things. It makes it seem way bigger than it actually is, involving more participants. I personally like to have that approach when it comes to my sex life, although it's always just including more dudes.
I see you again, when 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 I see